Happy Monday fun day, everybody. It sounds like one of my kiddos is leaving their bedroom. My goodness. Getting toddlers to stay in bed. How do you do that? I don't know. So, tonight's Monday fun day. It has been a while, so I thought I would start off Monday fun day again with sort of a bang. We are going to talk about the top 5 safety tips for realtors. These are tips that not only I practice and live by, but my husband, being a former law enforcement officer, has given me the green light to share with you guys. These are tips that he would recommend as well as former law enforcement. If you are a realtor or if you are in any kind of industry where you are one on one with clients out in the open or in establishments you've never been to, or you're unfamiliar with, or you're going to new neighborhoods or new houses, you're meeting people out in public, these are some tips that will help keep you safe. So let's start off right away with walking around with your head down, looking at your phone. Thank you. Especially when you're door knocking, when you're doing like door-to-door sales, like solar, insurance, all of those things. If you go door to door or you're a realtor and you're doing door knocking or you're handing out market reports, even in your own neighborhood, you don't really want to be looking at your phone, head down, blissfully unaware of your surroundings. You definitely want to be cognitive of cars on the road, people walking by, animals nearby, plants nearby. You really never know what's going on. So the best thing you can do is be aware of your surroundings at all times. And I promise that text can wait. If it can't wait, then you can absolutely hop into your car or stop somewhere safe to take a look at it. But don't do it while you're walking around. Even if there's not like stranger danger to be concerned about, you could easily step out into the road, trip over a plant, get, attacked by a stray dog or something. There's lots of possibilities. Better to be safe than sorry. So keep your head up and be aware of your surroundings. Tip number 2, do a background check. So here in New Mexico, our Realtor Association includes the access to the app Forewarn. There are similar apps, there are similar services you can get free or pay for a low cost. Check with your Realtor Association if you are a part of the Realtor Association. Check with your brokerage if you're not, and see if that's something that's included in any of your dues, because having that app allows you to do sort of a background check on people, especially if you've never met them in person before. I like to do it when, I have an open house. If somebody's coming in and they want to ask me a lot of questions and I'm there by myself, it's an easy way to just kind of double check who they are. If I'm meeting a buyer for the first time, it's a really great tool that can tell me whether it's a safe person to go show houses, just the two of us, or if I should ask my husband or a partner with my brokerage to come along with me and keep an eye out. And I've already shared this tip in the past, but I'll share it again now, just an extra bonus tip. Always have someone that knows where you are and have them check on you within like 30 minutes. Because if you are going to show a home and you're non-responsive after 20, 30 minutes, they should be aware. They should be ready to go call 911 if they have to, come and check on you, give you a call, whatever they need to do. Someone should always know your whereabouts, especially if you're a female, but really anybody. You can never be too safe, and having someone know where you are and how long you expect to be there can be the way that you don't wind up in a really negative situation. So that's a bonus tip for you guys. We've already talked about that in the past. Lots of good feedback about that. Like I share my location with my husband most of the time. I mean, pretty much all the time, but especially if I'm going to showings or working with a client in any standards. Am I wearing any slippers? No, barefoot baby. Tip number 3, official tip number 3, allow your clients to walk into the rooms ahead of you. So if you are showing a house, even if you've shown that house before, or you've shown those clients' houses before, allow them to walk into the rooms of the home ahead of you. Keep your back close to a wall so that people couldn't easily come up behind you, and be aware of any entrances and exits to the room, to the property, to the area, even to the neighborhood. If it's a gated community, you have a little bit of extra assurance that it's more secure. But in the home itself, you never can be too safe. And allowing your clients, even if you know them somewhat, to be the ones that enter the room. You don't want people behind you, especially if you're not able to see them or know what they're doing. Fourth tip, carry a self-defense weapon. So this may be, I don't know, controversial, but know your state's rules and laws about guns, knives, tasers, pepper spray, any of those things. If you aren't comfortable carrying one, you should at the very least have an alarm. They have keychains now that you can push the alarm and it will alert local authorities. Or if you press and hold it until you're safe, and when you're safe, you can unpress it. There's lots of options. I mean, there's even people on Etsy, all this stuff that you can purchase safety tools, even if you're not comfortable with a gun or a knife or a taser. There's lots of options, but it's always better to have something than to have nothing and be in a situation when you need it. My grandma used to always tell me, and my mom used to always tell me, it's always better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Luke, we found her Cash App. Thank you. I don't know what that means. I'm not asking you for money. I'm talking about safety tips for realtors. Or really anybody. These are just good safety tips, but particularly top 5 safety tips for realtors given to me by a former law enforcement officer. And number 5, work with your office to practice safety exit plans. Talk to your local state broker, to your brokerage, to your office staff. Please get them involved, have them be aware of the risks and the dangers that you face as a realtor, and ensure that they're practicing with other people in your office for safety, because having people you can run ideas by, especially safety tips, things like that, or people you can call if you're in a situation and they're familiar with exactly that situation, that's going to help you feel more secure and be more secure. Realtors are, first of all, you can't even spell it right. Realtors are annoying ASF and basically scammers. Love that for you. I'm sorry you had a negative experience or you just have a negative mindset. I don't know, but it's Realtor, just so you know. Anyways, so those are 5 safety tips for realtors. This is the former law enforcement officer who has given me a lot of ideas and is always probably just as paranoid, if not more paranoid than me, about my safety and just the safety of others. You prove my point. I prove your point that I'm a scammer by offering free safety tips.
You're right. You should actually send us your credit card information. Just you, though. And it's not paranoid. Let's just take that vocabulary off. It's prepared. Be prepared, okay? Go through scenarios in your head. What happens if someone comes and grabs me at a listing that I'm doing?
That is kind of what I mean by, that's kind of what I mean by like including your broker or your office in, can we go out in front of your husband? Who are you? Ew.
He's gone.
No. Anyways, having your broker or your office run through scenarios, practice, just like you're practicing scripts. If you do scripts, I don't do a whole lot of them, but if you do, just like you're practicing scripts, just like you're having conversations with clients or leads, have these conversations with other realtors and brokers in your office, because if you're running through these things that could happen, you're a lot more prepared for if they do happen. And you'll have other people who are also prepared and can either help you or will also be prepared should they face a dangerous situation.
Yeah.
A lot of times if I show a house, I lock the door behind myself and the client. I let them know I'm locking this door for our safety. You are free to leave at any time. I don't care if you leave or not. But I'm locking the door because I don't want anyone else who was not invited or is unexpected to show up and come into the home. Especially, I mean, even a homeowner, they're not going to just come traipsing through the door if the door's locked. They're probably you're going to hear them unlocking
and
it.
You're going to get the other pesky realtors. I said it right. See, I'm crushing myself. The ones that come in and like try and cut your visit short because they want their client.
Which they will.
Sometimes. You have a lockbox. You have the key. They can't get in the house. Another safety tip, as well as accountability tip. When you leave with your client, lock the key back up. don't hand it to the next person because you are registered to that key for that moment. Lock it up. You left the house. It was safe and secure. Someone else goes in there and something happens, that's on them.
I've had, especially newer brokers, even when I was brand new, back in 2021 when the market was super hot and there would be back to back to back showings behind me, ask me, just go ahead and hand me the key and I'll lock it up later. Oh, no, 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 no. If you go in there and you trash that house and it's my name that had the key, not happening. So I always ensure that I lock it back up into the Supra lockbox. It's an e-key, so that's what he means by registered for it. It pulls my name. It knows my license number. It knows how long I was in the property or how long I had the key out of the lockbox.
Yeah.
It's just one way that you can guarantee that you're not going to be on the hook for any damages or issues, but it's also really helpful for safety because you don't know that the person asking for the key is a licensed realtor.
And cop hat on. Let's say you do take out that key. Your name is registered to it, and you get kidnapped. Worst case scenario. Police are going to look there first. Who has the key? Who has it registered out? Dang it, sorry. That's who we need to be looking for, right? And so it's another added bonus security. I love that the hacks, the Supras have that because it's just who's in the house last, where were they, when was the last time, you can actually see when they accessed it. So there could be a time frame for how long they've been missing it. And it's all around a good thing.
And if you're representing the seller and they're going to have realtors coming through the property, it gives you peace of mind and your seller peace of mind that should anything go missing, should anything be damaged during any showings, you can probably identify at least within some expectation of what the time frame was in which it was taken or damaged and probably who was involved.
I like the girl in the black shirt. It's green.
And it's definitely a girl. Look
You
at
don't
this
know what I identify
pretty
as.
girl face.
But
Nolan! Hi, Nolan!
somebody asked about your pine tree.
Oh, the pine tree. So it's kind of a cross of a couple different trees, but it represents the sun that we lost on Christmas Eve. It's a Christmas tree with no ornaments.
I hope you guys had a good 4th. We did have a good 4th. It was good. We hung out with some friends and then came home, and the girl was super cute. Not as big as I wanted to get the 4th, but we'll do it better next year. We'll plan better.
Well, every other year we go to Texas
That's
with
true.
our good friends Justice and Asha. Their family has like a big ranch out there, so we go out on a boat and do all that fun stuff. And the kids are obsessed with it. They've been asking to go to Texas for like since last July.
Since we left.
So it's a fun trip, and it's kind of like the years that we do 4th of July really big because we have other people with us. If we're just doing it pretty low key at home, then does Albuquerque have a huge fireworks show? Yes and no. They try, but
this year was nuts though. You didn't need to go to a fire show. There was more fireworks going off around our neighborhood than I'd ever seen in my entire life.
It was wild.
It blew my mind. I was outside like, this is nuts. Like, it was absolutely crazy. I even sprayed down one of my trees.
It sounded like literally they were in the walls of our house because it felt like it was like right. And we have always had neighbors put off fireworks. I mean, I think this is only our first 4th of July here in this house though, because last year we were in Texas. Yeah. So I guess I just wasn't prepared.
It was nuts.
But thank you, Kendall. I appreciate it. I took a little extra time and did mine too. Mess up my eyeliner.
Kendall's talking about my makeup.
Yeah, you look great.
What else?
Safety tips. So those are the top 5 plus safety tips for realtors, but realistically, it works for literally everyone, just in life. But especially if you are in any kind of sales position where you are going with another person, you either know them somewhat or not at all, and entering other properties or spaces, because especially if you're not familiar with where you're going. Like, I don't know every house in Albuquerque. I haven't been inside of every house in Albuquerque. I'm sure at some point I will be in most of them.
Yeah.
That's what the job assigns me. But it's not, I don't know every single house. And people can change their home. They can, I just realized I'm not wearing my ring. That might be why they think you're my boyfriend. Husband,
boyfriend, husband,
married. Do you guys own a business? I am a licensed realtor here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. He is getting his real estate license, and he does security system installs now, former law enforcement and asset protection executive. I'm just going to take the second half of that comment and say thank you very much. I appreciate it. Did you floss today? I did. Thanks for noticing.
Get
I
a
had
username.
something stuck in my tooth. Okay. Period. Yes.
Okay, what?
Like period. Attitude.
What do dogs want?
Your attention.
Our dogs love live. Love live.
Everything in our house will be like, oh, you're going live? I'm going to be right up next to
You
you.
guys want a dog show?
No. No.
Taking this one out of the desk.
Yeah, don't
do
do
it. Go there.
And you're shaking the whole thing. That guy looks like Chris Watts.
I am Chris Mooney.
That's sad.
Who's Chris Watts?
Yeah, that's not his family.
Oh, that is sad.
That's horrible.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I love my family.
I do SEO. I can get you showing up on the first page of Google for real estate agent in Albuquerque. Well, I'm not an agent, but thank you. I'm a licensed realtor and associate broker in the state of New Mexico, which is slightly different, but I appreciate it. I don't currently pay for those services, so if you're asking to do it for free, cool. Otherwise, not currently paying for it, but I appreciate it. And guys, if anybody else is looking for SEO, Kindle does SEO. So
Heck yeah.
If you are watching this on YouTube, then you know that it's probably a TikTok comment. If you're watching it on TikTok and you're not seeing the comments we're responding to, it was probably over on YouTube.
YouTube.
Which we honestly don't get very many comments on our YouTube. So pick it up, people. Let's do the thing.
YouTube has a weird algorithm. You gotta learn it. It's like definitely postable. You have to post like a lot of random posts. Anytime
I post like my TikToks on YouTube, like repurpose them onto YouTube, they get a ton of views.
Yeah. One day. That's all right.
Good.
We're just here to educate the peeps.
Yeah.
Absolutely. People watch YouTube videos all the time.
Monday, fun day, guys. Every single Monday, we do our best. It's been a couple weeks since we've done it. We've just kind of had chaos going on.
Life.
And, the holiday this week and all of last week. Holy cow, that was last week. That feels like yesterday.
So was that?
Like tomorrow, it will have been a week since 4th of July. Oh my
gosh.
This person. What did that person you muted say?
Oh, I just said he was the guy that said that with like Chris Watts. We don't need that kind of talk. How come when I get... Oh, there you go. Cool. I love how the users are always the trolls. Man up and put your name on there. That's all I gotta say.
Or something.
Goodbye. Like, man up.
Anyways, guys, happy freaking Monday fun day, and I hope this Chris Watts case gave me nightmares. Yeah, it was really sad and brutal.
Yep. It's never good, man. Kids don't.
Sorry for asking about him being your friend or boyfriend. He's just handsome, LOL. No, don't be sorry. He is handsome. Give him all the attention. He loves it. But we're happily married, so.
Yes, with a family. And dogs.
Thank you. Appreciate it. You are pretty too. So you can hear the toddlers making noise upstairs.
I don't know if it's singing or if it's crying.
It's singing. Whistling and singing.
Bexy's asleep. God, I miss the Monday fun days. I just kind of want to talk all night. But then we get off script and we just end up talking about crazy stuff, and I just fight trolls all night.
Point of live is to interact, but I like to try and keep it a little bit somewhat reined in, so we're kind of keeping, especially here on YouTube, because I don't know, someone called my partner handsome, I cry in the corner.
You should choose that. Like, hell yeah, he's handsome.
I don't want to be rude because it's not my intention, but if you aren't confident with your partner and you don't have that trust, I would absolutely, if I did not trust him, or if I truly felt that a stranger on TikTok was a threat to our relationship, I would absolutely relate to that. I would be very upset. But I think it takes time and trust and accountability to learn and establish those healthy standards. And mental illness is it's everywhere.
Yep. People struggle with all kinds of stuff.
And as long as you're aware of it and doing things to take care of yourself, put yourself first.
Love yourself.
But just know, if somebody's willing to turn around and do something that hurts you, it's better to know that now than it is to know that later, or to keep wasting time on that person. So I hope you find someone who treats you the way you deserve to be treated, which is well, and Yeah. Um, thank you both. You're very, very sweet. Anyways, yeah, so we go live on Mondays. We try and do it every Monday. It's been a couple weeks since we've done it, but we used to do it every single night. It just kind of gets a little out of control when we do that. And there are just a ton of trolls that come on and share their
Trolliness?
really weird
Yeah.
comments.
Nice shirt. You got diabetes? And you're like, what?
Yeah, they ask weird stuff and they just kind of take away from the point of going live. So
Yeah.
for me, going live is to share education, entertainment, build a community, interact with my followers and the people on social media that may potentially be a client or a lead or even a fellow realtor that we can share referrals and stuff like that. But what?
We gotta look like there's a way to be like community standards because I know that other people that I follow or I watch when they first go into their like YouTube or their chats, it says like community guidelines,
Huh.
and it says certain things you have to like okay to it. So I wonder how we do that.
When that person's like really desperate for us to kiss, that's kind of a weird thing.
Yeah.
No.
Sorry, Teddy.
So yeah, so those are 5 safety tips for realtors, but really any sales position, anybody in life, just be aware of your surroundings, know what you're doing, and do your best to be diligent, protect yourself and protect others because you're not always going to have someone there to be with you to help you, and the more that you're able to do for yourself, the less likely you are to be in a sketchy situation that you can't control. And anytime a situation feels like you're losing control of it, creepy remarks, sketchy behavior, any of that stuff, cut it off and walk away. That's absolutely okay. I have absolutely dealt with clients who I have told Chris, this person gives me kind of the heebie jeebies. Chris will come with me to the showings from that point on.
Yep.
He'll sit in the car usually. He's never had to come in, but he's just present and they're aware that he's there and they know that I have someone that's ready and willing to fight for me if he needs to. So
you look taller than me. Sorry, let's get reality. I don't sit up more. She just has a bigger, longer spine. She sits up straighter than me.
and because you're like further back.
Depth. But yeah, that's a big one. I think that if you can support your partner or whoever,
A friend or family member,
and you can just take the time to drive with them to a showing, especially if it's like a nighttime one or
one far away or an area they're not familiar with.
Do it. Like your real estate friend will totally be down to buy you breakfast or something, or like shoot.
I would never buy you.
I know, or maybe they might even write you as like an employee and tax write off your pay for going with them. Like there's so many benefits that can come from it, and you're both safe. They're safe. Like there's some sketchy scenarios that I could foresee playing out. Like you're going in an empty house, someone you don't know.
I've seen videos here on TikTok of realtors showing homes that are supposed to be vacant, and they go out into a room in the garage or one of the rooms in the house. Good night, Queen. And they open the door, and there's like a homeless person squatting in the property, or there's a homeowner who they were not expecting to be present for the showing. Like there's so many people that have encountered warning permanent ban will ensure if live video does not end within 5 minutes. But it's a notification.
No, it's a user.
It's the user.
Gotcha. Banned.
Sneaky. But there's so many videos, there's so many horror stories of things that have happened to people, especially realtors and especially females. And that is not me trying to be like gender specific. It could happen to literally anybody, but especially if you're young, especially if you're a female, and especially if you let yourself be a victim. The less you know, the less you do to protect yourself, the more likely you are to be an easy target. And that is absolutely the opposite of what we want. I want you to have a long, flourishing, thriving, and successful real estate career. So please, please, please choose to use these safety tips. And I am like looking at like the two. I look really, really tan here.
Yeah, we're in Florida
and, like,
here and like Minnesota.
On YouTube, we're like,
hey, Minnesota.
We're real pale.
And to that fact, I just looked at my face over here, and it's like, what? Why?
Oh, you know why? Because they have the red light on.
Nighttime mode on.
Yeah, I have the red light on.
Yeah, we're not even tan. We're just being goobers. Anyhow, look like you own it. Like, don't go up to the house. Like, do your research. Google Map it. Map Quest it if you have to. If you're old enough and you know what that is, you're awesome. But know what it is you're going to. Get out of your car. Walk directly to where the lockbox location is. Granted, sometimes it's not where they say it is. But go right to it. Get the key out. You own it. Look around. Because predators do not want difficult targets. They don't want people who are confident. They want people who are, quiet, recessed, not
looking
paying
down at their
attention,
phone.
lost, potential victims that need help. And they use that. So, do your research. Take 10 minutes in bed before you're listing this. Like the night before, when you're doing your preparation work.
I'm usually sitting here for like 90% of the day, so not just hanging out in bed.
Like know what you're getting into. Know the area, what it looks like, because confidence is a huge deterrent for bad people.
And you know what? If you ever feel uneasy, trust your gut. Trust your gut.
Yep.
The worst that could happen is you have to reschedule your showing for a daytime hour, or you have to wait to enter the property until your buyer gets there. Hi, Lefty.
Well, hello.
But I have had an instance even where I got a flat tire, and if it wasn't for my buyer and her boyfriend, I would have just been sitting there by myself in the dark, about 45 minutes away from home, waiting for him to load the kids up and come and help me change my tire.
Yep.
Yes, I should know how to change a tire. That's not the point of the story. The point of the story, I do, but I don't know that I would have, in that moment, been confident and in the dark.
And it was the first time in the Volkswagen. You didn't know what everything was. It's German. The Germans.
Well, and it's dark. It's in a new neighborhood, and I'm at that point vulnerable, trying to change tires. So thankfully, my buyer and her boyfriend changed my tire for me. Well, her boyfriend did. Her and I just kind of gossiped, and he did that because he said, absolutely, I would hate if I left and something happened to you. I would know I could have easily prevented that by staying here with you. And he could have just sat there and stayed with me until Chris got there to change it, but he didn't. He went above and beyond.
I have a safety tip for that. If you're by yourself. If you're by yourself and you're selling a house and it has a garage and it's nighttime, open up the garage.
What if there's a car?
Open up the garage. Because they assume that, you're not selling a house that's empty. Like, a garage door is open, you could be working on your car in your driveway, your family's inside. They don't know that you're selling the house and the house is empty, right? It just makes it almost look like you own the place, that confidence. Being there, I think it would be a cool tool. I think so.
And I think at that point, if a seller came home and saw you in their driveway changing your tire and their garage door open, if they're mad at you for doing something to keep yourself safe or to give yourself even just a little bit more confidence in the situation, let them be mad for a few minutes, explain what's going on, obviously talk to them, but do your best. Do your best to be safe. So
one of our dogs just died underneath the table with their smell.
Not really, but they're ripping dog toots under here, and it's real gross. But those are our way more than 5 safety tips for realtors. Obviously, we almost always go off the hinges with these lives, but we love connecting with you guys, and we hope that if you don't already, you will give us a follow, subscribe over on YouTube, ring the bell so you never miss a live or a video. You can find me on Threads, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all the things. Kymbrye Mooney at the Realtor Kymbrye, and that's Chris.
I forgot my stuff, but
my first husband, Chris.
Here Comes the Moon, 87, I think. Majority of my stuff, but I'm not really active yet.
You should be.
You'll see it coming. Out of the nowhere, boom!
It's not really out of nowhere because for months we've been talking about him getting his license. So. Yeah. Eventually, at some point, he will. We'll see.
I know.
Anyways, guys, I love you. You're my bestie. I hope you'll come back and check us out next week on Monday Funday. And if you're not here on Monday nights, you can just subscribe and like and follow all my stuff. And, like and share all my content.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, you don't see her very cute that you just sit under there all cute like that. I'm only cute now, licking my feet and my knee.
1,678 lives. Like